All right, we're here today. We're going to do up a meatloaf. We're going to do it a little bit different, a few different ingredients. We're going to smoke it on our Gateway drum smoker. We're going to use just a little bit of mulberry wood as our smoking wood today. You don't need a lot of smoke with the meatloaf, but we're going to add a little bit to it. We got in here's 2.5 pounds of Hamburg. We have all the other ingredients all measured out here. So we got 3 eggs that we beat it up. I'm gonna add them in here. We did a little different. Instead of breadcrumbs, we used some stuffing. Did moisten it a little bit just so that it didn't suck all the moisture out. So we're gonna put that in the in here. One of the guys here at work, they do theirs that way. Got a couple cloves of garlic that we're gonna put in here. Got a little bit of about 2.5 tablespoons of brisket mop from Cosmos that we're gonna put in here. And we got 1.5 tablespoons of Bolden Beefy. A little over 1/2 cup of milk. Then we're going to throw about 1/2 of an onion we chopped up. We're just going to mix it. We're not going to mix it real hard. If you pack a meatloaf and you just mix and mix, you're going to end up getting pretty, it's going to get tougher. So we're just going to mix it. We get everything incorporated into the Hamburg real nice and even. Then we got that mixed up. Now we're just going to take about 1/2 of it. We're going to use a growing mat. So once we put the meatloaf on here, I can just take the mat, transfer it right to the smoker. We're going to keep it on one side because I actually have another one that we're going to end up putting on here. So we're going to take about 1/2 of this and lay it out on here. We're going to take, we got some pepper jack cheese, got a fair amount of cheese. So it's going to be a good cheesy meatloaf. We're going to lay that in between. And we're just going to go ahead and cover that up. You want to make sure you get enough Hamburg on the outside of the cheese. Try to get it sealed up somewhat. Any holes is once that cheese starts melting, it's gonna seep through there. I'm just gonna make sure we get her covered up nice. and even. So there we go, all made up. Now we're just gonna cover it here with some Big Bob Gibson's red sauce. So you could use a mix of brown sugar, ketchup, you know, some other things in there, but we're just gonna change this up. This does have a little, definitely a tomato base to it. So we're gonna put a little bit of this on. As this finishes up, we'll end up giving another mop partway through with this. And I'm just going to dust it over the top with a little bit of the bold and beefy. There you go, we're ready for the smoker to put that on. Should be running, we're going to run today about 250, 275 with it. Going to drop in 2 small pieces of mulberry wood. Put that in there. Let that go. Whenever you're doing with the drum, you don't want to be letting the lid off for extended periods of time because your temperature will end up spiking on you. So we always get it prepped, get it ready. That way when it's time to open the lid, I can open it, put my meat on, and get it closed back up so we don't spike in temperature. It will come down, but you will spike up pretty quick. So we're going to let this go at this temperature for about 2 hours, and we're going to come back and check it and probably mop a little bit more of the sauce on the top of it. All right, so we've been running here about 2 hours with this. Open it up, and we're going to go ahead and put a little bit more glaze on top here. Not too much more, it's still nice and moist. I'm just going to hit it with a little more. Go. Get that lid back on there. Let that finish out. All right, so it's been a couple hours here. The meatloaf is looking great. We're running right at 165, 166, so she's done. So we're gonna go ahead and close this down. Get this out. Maybe. Go ahead and slice this up. The end piece, we'll get in here to the cheese. There we go. Plate, Brad?
Yep.
2.
Be a little hot, huh?
A little hot.
Good flavor.
There we go. We're gonna
Yeah, pretty good.
cut the rest of this up for the rest of the guys here and serve out some meatloaf today.